Welcome back to the Kings, Queens, and everything in between. It's another episode of the Peasant Party Podcast. I think we are on like episode 96. I know.
So crazy.
100 of these. I'm Charlotte Warren. To my right is everyone's favorite person.
I'm Annabelle, co-host at times. We've 96 episodes and I still don't know how to introduce myself. I'm always like, hi.
I still don't know how to close an episode. It's like, okay, this was great, bye.
I love you.
Yeah.
Love you, bye-bye.
It's like, sometimes I feel like it's like when you write happy birthday and you're trying to like fit the
yeah,
at the end, because it's like, oh, like we're like, oh, we've got room for one more, and then it's like, oh shoot, we're at time.
That's true. It sneaks up on us for sure.
I also do feel like the hour-long time limit is like keeps things in check. Otherwise, I would.
An hour is good.
I think an hour is
That's
good.
like solid amount of time, I think. Yeah.
For sure. Well, what's new with you?
Oh, golly. Oh, I'm going to beat the hell out of this microphone. I am technically 25 days sober from alcohol.
Oh, hell yeah.
Which we're just taking the month off. Mm-hmm. Daniel and I, my boyfriend, just because we knew that like we had traveled in August, drank a ton, oh my God, every day, drunk on our trip. And then we were like, okay, we need to take like the month off because October, we're going to go balls to the wall again. So we decided to take this month off. And it's only the 23rd, but I'm technically 25 days sober. Mm-hmm. And that is far and away the longest that I have not drank alcohol since like the first day of college.
Damn.
Yeah.
That would probably be it for me. Like I think I've gone like 30 days like without trying, like when I've had like some things going on. I don't know, but like
it's kind of hard, honestly.
Oh yeah, it's
like,
not in Austin, definitely.
Dude, in Austin is so hard because everything revolves kind of around like alcohol and drinking. But one thing that I kind of did realize was I think because like they say like, oh, you'll get cravings for alcohol, and I get a little bit of a craving, but I realized it's not for the beer itself or for the alcohol itself. I think I get like the craving as it gets towards nighttime to be in a social space. Socializing.
That's the thing. Like no one really cares if you're drinking or not. Like, and if they do, like they're a bad friend. If they're like, "Where's your drink?" Blah blah blah. Like most people, it's like if you're like, "Yeah, just not drinking tonight," or like you just have Like sometimes, like for me too, it's like that's why I think Liquid Death, what they've done is incredible. Because it's like the cold drinks that you can just have in your hand. Like for some people, it's like a psychological thing.
Yes.
I would say too.
Yeah, totally. I've been getting Liquid Deaths. Yeah. And I've honestly just really loved that. Like I realized that the craving was really just to like be around people and have fun. Yeah. I miss having fun like with a big group of people. It's not that I miss like being drunk.
And if you're not having fun with the people or at the place without being drunk, like how fun really is it?
So true. So true. I mean, it definitely has meant that I've stayed in a lot more. Because like prior to this, after work, my boyfriend or my boss or whatever, we would go and just like get one drink after work, 1 or 2 drinks. So never ever enough to like get drunk.
It's still 100 calories you didn't need and $5 to spend. Yeah.
Yes, it is. It's so much calories. It's so much money. I think I've saved a lot of money this month. And like, I hate to say it. They were right. I feel amazing.
Good.
Even though I'm not like an alcoholic.
Well, you look great. Like I think maybe it's just like the color on you or something. Like I think.
Thank you so much.
You look fresh. You look tan.
Thank you.
You look young and youthful. That's
youthful.
synonym. Lively.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks. I feel great. But next month we're back to it because we're going to the Ren Fair.
Yes. That is a time.
Sloshed at the Ren Fair.
I love to hear it. Cool. Well, I guess to dive into the episode, and I think I'll just play the audio of this clip. You had a chance to listen to it ahead of time. We're going to cover a clip by one of our favorite TikTokers, one of my TikTok friends, Dani Coco. I feel like she ends up in a lot of these situations, and I'm like, part of me wonders. I say this as a person who likes Dani. Dani, I love you. But I'm like, some of these like weird nuancy situations, I'm like, are you working on like a writing profile or something? I'm like, these happen to you a lot. But I don't think like I don't get like a fake vibe from her. But sometimes I'm like, damn, you get all these like nuancy things that work really well for dating content. But anyway, okay, I'm going to play this from the beginning.
Okay. I need to know if I'm in the wrong for this. A guy and I stopped talking because of this. And like, he definitely thinks that I did the wrong thing, but I don't think I did. So I could use some input. I had been on a few dates with this guy, like really sweet, just seemed like a really nice, genuine person. And he suggested for either like our fourth or our fifth date that we go to dinner. And I said that sounded great. And he said, I'm happy to pick a place and come up with something, but I wanted to ask if you had any restaurants that you've really been wanting to try or that you really like, which I thought was sweet that he asked. And also we had been on a few dates that he had planned, so it didn't feel like he was just trying to offload planning onto me. Like genuinely he wanted to know if there was somewhere I wanted to go. So I suggested two places. One was an Italian place. It's like a little further south from me that I had not been to but heard really good things about. And the other one was sort of like an upscale Mexican place, really, really good food. And I had been there once before on a date. So I said, this Italian place I've never been to, but I've heard good things. And this Mexican place I went to once and it was amazing. He ends up picking the Mexican food place. So we get to this dinner, we're hanging out, we're having a great time. He asks me what I got last time, like what I ordered and if it was good. And I was like, all right, we split a couple things and this is like one of the things I remember getting that was really good. And then he was like, who did you come here with? Like just asking. And I was like, oh, I was actually on a date. And he got so weird. He was like, oh, I wish you had told me that. And I was like, what do you mean? Like that I had told you what? And he's like, oh, I wish you told me you'd been here before on a date. And I was like, what? Like, why would I have told you? Like, yeah, I've been there before on a date. It just seems kind of like TMI. And he just was like, oh, I just wish you had told me. And so I kind of let it go because I was like, whatever, you know, I guess he just feels weird about it. And then he drove me home. And again, in the car, he was like, I don't understand why you wouldn't tell me that you had been to this restaurant before on a date. And I was like, dude, if I told you every single restaurant I've ever been to on a date, we would have nowhere to eat. Like, your girl's been on a lot of dates and I've lived here for 5 years. He was so upset. He could not get over it. And we kind of got into an argument because I was like, I'm trying to understand your perspective, but you're so upset. And would it have really been that different if I said, I've been to this restaurant before on a date? Like, I can't picture telling someone that who I've seen 4 times. So all that to say, he was very upset. We did not go out again. And I am so curious from your perspective, did I do the wrong thing? Should I have told him that I'd been to this restaurant before on a date? Because that seemed...
Okay. She goes on. Yeah, she's just saying that seems weird to me. Yeah, and like, anyway, initial thoughts.
Okay. All I can really think is putting myself in his shoes. Mm-hmm. If I was on a date with a man and then, you know, and it's been going well, it's the 5th or 6th date and we like each other. And then, you know, he throws out some suggestions and we end up going to one of the places. And then midway through, he lets me know that he has been on a date there. I think I would probably try to like be cool. I think maybe both parties, there's something left to be desired. I would be cool about it, but I would feel pissed.
Really?
I'd be pissed.
Because what's interesting is like what you're describing is not like a 1-to-1 of like what she's saying. Like I think she was like, I've been here before, and then he says like, when you came here last, like what did you order? And she says, oh, we split some of these things.
Right.
He goes, who did you come here with? And she goes, I was actually here on a date. So it's not
Gotcha. He asked. Okay.
Yeah. So he kind of said like, who did you come here with?
Yes.
When they were planning the date, it sounds like it was like, name some places you've been wanting to try or really like. And she's like, I like this Mexican restaurant. She didn't say I've been here on a date. And she didn't say that until he asked, and he got very upset. And it's interesting because people who are saying things like, well, you know, it's an honesty versus transparency thing. Like, you know, it's felt like that, you know, we've talked about like the trickle truth where people don't fess up to things until it's like brought in front of them. Mm-hmm. And people are kind of comparing it to that, where it's like the only reason you have this information is because you like, you know, kind of snuck around and found all the things to ask. And like, you know, they only fessed up. But like, I just don't feel like it's that situation. I don't know. Here, fill it because I feel like I'm scrolling.
No. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. So let's say I'm her and I'm on a date. Same situation. And then he says, who'd you come here with? If I would probably lie. Knowing me, I'd probably lie.
Just
because
a friend?
I'm trying to keep the rapport going. I would probably say, oh, my sister.
Okay.
And if I was too slow to get that response out and I said, oh, I actually, full disclosure, came here on a date, I would probably qualify it by being like, oh, yeah, I came here on a date, but lame. It
Yeah,
sucked.
clearly that didn't work out. I'm here with you
It
now.
didn't,
Yeah.
but really be like, oh, it was lame and it sucked, and like I'm so excited to like actually be here when I can like enjoy the food because I really couldn't last time.
Yeah. I think
And with
that's
somebody that I like.
yeah.
Just lie, girl, lie. Tell her that man was busted, and now you have.
But I think she didn't realize this was a situation because I think like I hate the word like lie for these, but even though it is technically like a white lie, but it's like I was always someone who liked to make the person I was on a date with feel like they were the only person in the room wherever I could. Like
yes,
anyone like I'm with you now. I'm on a date with you now, regardless of what this becomes, regardless of however I got here. Like everyone in the past, like we don't need to talk about that unless like you really like want to know. Like you're the only person in the room.
yeah.
Like I would probably like be like, oh, just like a friend or something like that. But like, yeah. So I do think that there's something to be said for like doing that where you can like, oh, a friend but like I also think like, I've been here on a date before. Like there's nothing kind of wrong. Like I don't know. I think
isn't. He reacted strangely, for sure, and it is a red flag, frankly.
Oh yeah,
to react that.
I also think too, like I think if someone were to react that way to like think of it as, like freak out and be like, oh my god, it's a trickle truth type situation or something like that. Like I also think that person a person who like would jump to that like freaking out after being like, oh I went here on a date, like even if you were up front and were like, I went here on a date once and kind of liked it, like I feel like they wouldn't take well to that either. Like I feel like it's a
right.
Like I feel like a person who would get upset about that, like even if you were like totally transparent from the start, would be upset about like even if you were kind of like saying that from the get-go. Because I think too like and where was I going with this? Like I also think there's also so much a thing is like too much honesty or too much transparency because like that was something people pointed out in the comment section was like, well, it's an honesty versus transparency. Like you weren't lying, but you could have like been more open. It's like if I introduced every single thing I've done before as a date suggestion, with like I was here once on a date before, like I talked about my past dates, like it would almost feel like or if someone did that to me, it would feel like it's like, what are you trying to say to me? Like it would be like
so you better perform better than she did because I'm comparing both experiences.
Yeah, or just like, by the way, I have options. To me it would feel like it would feel like, what are you trying to signal here? Like I don't know.
Yes. Yeah, and not to be like, oh, like lie about your body count and sit whatever, but like sometimes I just feel like being demure about that kind of thing. It's just polite all around.
It's like the fine line between like honesty / transparency and openness and like wanting someone to feel like they're the most important person in the room. Yes. And give them that, like I was a hospitality major in college. I've talked about this before, but just give them that nice guest experience.
Yes.
So that they become a repeat or permanent guest. And, there's kind of like some part of it where it's like there is like a little bit of a facade where it's like you want to give them a good experience. And like, if they really want to know the inner workings of how the sausage is made, like they can ask those direct questions. But like, like why tell them so much? Like exactly, I don't know.
Oh, totally. Oh my God. Yeah. I think about, dudes who would be like, oh, like I used to come here with my ex all the time. It's like,
Like it's like if you introduce it that it's kind of like what are you trying to do? Or like I've been here on some dates before. Or like I came here like it would kind of
because it just feels like it's like, oh, so am I just I'm just kind of on the rotation. Do you bring all your hoes here? I used to say all the time I bring all my hoes to Suerte because like I would bring dudes or whenever a man would be like, oh, where should we go? Suerte, baby, Suerte. They knew me. They knew my whole rigmarole. I brought a different dude in there every day.
Yeah, I mean, like some places are like it's also like when you find a good date spot, sometimes it's kind of like this works well for two people. Like I can hear what I need to hear. It's romantic enough to be romantic. It's not too expensive. They've got a good happy hour where you can kind of like have fun with it and try a few different things. Like I think there's something to be said for when you like find a good spot and you're like, okay, this works.
One thing that I am realizing, just as I expose myself like that, there is also the embarrassment aspect of, oh, yes, I've been here on a date before with another guy. And then all of a sudden, you're very hyper aware of the staff thinking like, oh, she's got another one. Like, look at this idiot sitting here. That feeling is horrible.
I do think like if you're in a big enough city, like they've seen like I know people who are like way worse. Like there's someone I know who is now happily engaged, and he had his like go-to spot, and it was like he would take all of his dates there, and it was like right across the street from where his like condo was. And it was just like, I don't think he revealed that that's where his condo was, but like, you know, the guy who's like, oh yeah, like the bar that's right below my apartment, and like, oh, what do you know? Like if you want to go see the fish tank, it's upstairs. But like, you know, I think that there is like a certain like repeat type thing if you're like in a smaller town. But I also think, yeah, like I think a restaurant, they see a lot of people coming in and out. Like generally if you have a spot that's like that, where like it's a good first date spot, other people think the same thing. And like, I also think like restaurant, they're so much busier than that. I feel like bartenders and servers, like
they are depending. Yeah, definitely. I would feel humiliated if I went to a bar with a guy and everybody there like knows him and knows his exes and knows.
This is like a totally unrelated one, but like we have talked about, like we have recurring characters in these stories, usually people from our hometown that are weird and annoying.
Yeah.
But like, did I tell you about a time that like Todd Peralta ruined a date for me? So keep in mind, this was the person that stole money from my house, that stole, like, I had a party and this guy was weird. I don't like it was not, like, he was weird.
Dude, he's like a little ghoul. He's like a little ghoul of Ventura.
Oh yeah, fuck that guy. But anyway, so I was like, he stole money from me, and so whenever he was a bartender at Dargan's in Ventura. I don't know if he still is, but if he is, you should steal his money. And so like, the times that I had gone, I was like, I'm not paying for this because you stole my money. Like, you stole $50 from me, and until like, these are $7 beers. So I get 7 beers that I'm not paying for.
I love that you just laid it down like that.
He didn't fight it
with it, bitch.
But then like I was there on a date. Like this would have been in like 20. I would have been working at Target. It would have been 2015. That's 10 years ago. And then but then it was like, I think my tab of that was up because I'd been to Dargan's a few times, and I go like on a date, and I was like, yeah. And the guy that I was with was like chill. Yeah, he comes up, he's like, hey, what's good? Like, what do you guys have? And we're like, oh yeah, this. And then he like kind of stood there and lingered. He's like, so how have you been? And he's like, what's your, like, he was like, it seemed like the way he was like speaking to the guy, it was like as though we had some sort of history. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, go back to the bar.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
Ew, like was asking the guy questions as if you and Todd were like a thing. And
no, and it was like, this was a person who stole money from me. And then I think
ruined the date?
Well, it didn't ruin the date. Actually, I like went on a few other dates with like that same guy, but I actually like started conversation. So I lied. It did not ruin the date. It just made things weird. It was kind of like,
be like, that's not mine. I don't know that guy like at all.
But it seemed like he's trying to do something. He's trying to fuck with me.
Yeah.
But I think it takes, like, for a bar staff, wait staff to fuck with you, they have to be, like, a person like Todd Peralta. And most people aren't like Todd Peralta because they aren't pieces of shit. Fucking hate that guy.
I've seen it go down. Actually, there's another known ghoul of Austin who just a cheating lying son of a bitch, really. And another friend of mine saw him, like, at a bar with a new girl. And came up and like said, oh my god, hi blank, how are you? And like met the new girl, and then straight up was like, oh, you're so much prettier than the girl he had here with him yesterday, and then walked away.
Well, I'm also just like, people want, like, I feel like bar staff really want tips. Like if you've done something to piss off the bar staff or their friends that like override their desire to get a good tip, they might fuck with you. But like also, I think for the most part, like, people don't want to like piss anyone off. Like,
yeah.
You know, the millennials, we are the generation of Yelp reviews.
It is risky to be bringing people around to the same damn bar. Somebody's gonna come up to you.
Yeah. I mean, like, that's why, like, I was also a person, like, I'm always like, also, I'm a person where it's like, whenever I like go somewhere, I'm like, I hope like, sometimes I've been like, I hope so-and-so's not there. Like, I wonder if so-and-so will be there and that person will show up. Like, I am that person, so that's why I was always, like, when I was, like, single and dating, like, I never dated two people at once or, like, you know, had something going while trying to start something with someone else. Because it was not even, like, you know, like, I like this person. It was more of, like, a guilt thing and, like, if anyone's gonna bump into people while on another date, like, it's me.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, God.
I just, like.
That's horrible. Yeah.
That hadn't happened to me, but that was because I only dated one people at a time. One person. Fuck.
One people at a time.
One people at a time.
Yeah, running into people that you know when you're on a first date yet another horrible experience. I hate that.
But I will say that is a way to weed out like who's cool versus who isn't. Like if someone's just like, oh, like a person came and talked to you, like, what do you mean you introduced me? This feels like so serious. It's like, oh, okay,
God,
you know.
yeah, totally.
Yeah. Do you want to read the first quick hit question?
Sure, hold on. Quick hit question. Had a weird sex dream involving my friend. How seriously should I take this?
So, if I go first, like, I think not all dreams and dreamers are created equal.
Yeah.
I have had sex dreams about the most obscure mix of people.
People that I haven't seen or thought about in 15 years.
I've had dreams like about like people that I've never seen before, would see again, but like just like weird. So I wouldn't take it seriously personally.
But then don't you wake up in the morning and you're like,
no, I'm usually like, ugh. That was a funny one, brain. Like, what the fuck where'd you come up with that one?
I feel like
but also growing up, I was a person like when I was a kid and people were like friends were like, I had a dream last night. Want me to tell you about my dream? I'd be like, no, it's not real. It's boring.
Don't care. Yeah.
Like you would do that a lot. Be like, can I tell you about my dream last night? I'd be like, no.
Do that. I do that constantly.
I don't believe in dream journals. I don't believe in woo woo. You believe in more woo woo.
I swear on my fucking life, I freaked the hell out of Daniel like 2 days ago because I woke up from a dream where he and I were in a throuple with another girl. And I get those cheating dreams all the time. Or like it was so realistic. And we were all sharing a bed as a throuple. 2 girls and him. Oh my God, dude, I was so
you just got mad at him for the thing that
hell yeah. He loved it, honestly. He thought
usually I'm the bad guy in my dreams. Like one time I had a dream, it was like an ex that I broke up with from like, it was a long distance relationship. And I had a dream where it was like, I never broke up with him. And like, it was like, oh, I've gone on with my life. And it was like, what? Like, and it was like, that was like
you never dropped the class that you didn't.
It was like, but I was like, what the fuck could it? And it was like 6 months ago. I was like, what the fuck is this?
I've been cheating this whole time. Bah.
I'm like, I was like, I had a bunch of like work deadlines.
Yeah.
But like, it was like, what the fuck was that? I had dreams where it was like, I don't know if you've seen the chicken man wandering around. He used to be around on, like, he might be dead now. He was a homeless guy who always had a chicken on his head. I had a dream I had sex with the chicken man.
Okay, period. Yeah,
I had a dream that I had a Black Swan style dream with my closest female friend in Austin. That was a weird one.
Whoa!
Yeah, that, like it was like it was funny. Like I drunkenly told her, I was like, I had a Black Swan dream about Ashley, and she's like, what? And she was like, now she tells, and she would tell everyone for a while. She's like, she had a Black Swan dream about me. I'm like,
I'm dead.
I'm like, it wasn't like, and then of course, like she would tell this to do, and people like, oh, what part? Like, no, we're not. No,
it's
that was private.
Not relevant.
And I'm not in, no.
Yeah.
I'm very happy in my relationship, but my dreams go all over the place. I wouldn't take it that seriously. I really wouldn't. Like, I mean, it also just depends. Like, not all friends are created equal. Like, if this is like, if you never have dreams like that, and this is your like, I don't know if it's a man, woman, whatever your preferred gender is, you know, it's like, oh, it's my guy best friend, my girl best friend. And like, you know, there's all this tension. It's like, maybe that is a sign.
It might be. I will say one time I had a sex dream about somebody who is in my life. And of course, like I woke up and I totally had feelings for them, like for like a while. And, I remember like just kind of obsessing over it for a little while. And then finally, like 2 years later, we do end up hooking up. And it was mid. It was so terrible. Like, honestly, in this
people tend to be better at sex in dreams than they do in real life.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah. So
like
don't
dream sex. Like you can have you can float on clouds in your dreams. You can't do that in real life. You know,
so like don't get stuck maladaptive daydreaming, because chances are somebody is not in bed who you kind of dream them to be.
That's true.
You don't know. You don't know what they're like.
Expectations versus reality.
Yeah, you might. Oh, damn, dude. The first time after we hooked up, I was like, what? What? All of that for? Oh my God! All that tension for nothing.
I know, right?
Stupid.
Wild. I'm gonna ask the next one because I feel like this is a larger one. I feel like this is a topic we have talked about before. It is mailbag. Can women have it all? Have it all is in quotes. Single women in her 30s who is, of course, bombarded with a lot of dating content. As I scroll through TikTok, one type of content that keeps showing up my feed, it's often the feminine energy, seems like red pill stuff. Creators of or podcast personalities telling women you can't have it all, referring to the ability to find and maintain a successful career alongside a strong marriage and parenthood. They'll also typically say that feminism lies to women or lied to women about how fulfilled will be by parenthood versus a career. I'm obviously not a parent yet, so I can't say how much I'd prefer a career over parenthood, but my career has been pretty fulfilling. I've also met my last 2 significant others via work or work adjacent groups, so I fully disagree that work gets in the way, especially considering my male colleagues all have successful wives. I guess I'm just hoping to hear this topic discussed and where the heck it might be coming from, and if there's any grain of truth to it. What gives with this talking point? What are your thoughts? Do you ever see content like that? I feel like you're not entrenched in dating.
I'm not entrenched in dating or red pill content, but I see people
but
talk
it will find
about
you.
it a lot.
It has a way of finding you.
Yeah, I see people discussing it, making stitches about it, talking about what's going on in the news. I mean, quite frankly, like the political climate, there's a lot of talk about this.
Because I see those like videos, and it always has me scratching my head because I'm like, in what universe is everything just like an all or nothing? Everything. I don't know, like it's a very weird thing to see, especially because I think like this woman, I've met significant others through work. Like I work with successful men. They have successful wives and girlfriends and stuff like that. Like none of them have a, feminine energy homemaker type that they plucked out of obscurity. They met through school. They met through work. They met through friends who they met from work. And then it's a big web of friends. Like there's so much like, pun intended, trickle down economics with being successful means you make more money, and that's going to impact where you live and where you are and where you hang out. Like there are invisible barriers to entry to everything in life. Like if you're making more money, you're going to hang out around other people who make more money, and that's who you're going to date. I fully agree with that. I think like where it's like the have it all thing is I'm like, it depends how you define all.
Sure.
Like one thing, and we can go into like what is feminism lying about, because that's an interesting one. But I think something I was taught, I don't know if this is feminism or like just life, is just like there's only 24 hours in a day, and like don't spread yourself too thin. If your version of having it all is like you want to be a CEO. And, it takes a lot to be a CEO, and you want to have like a happy marriage where you go on like 10 trips a year and have like 4 kids and stuff like that. It's kind of like there's only 24 hours in a day.
Right.
Like those are you gotta, like something's gonna cut into something.
Yeah.
But if
you're gonna have to compromise. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah.
But if have it all means like you want to have be married and have, 1 or 2 kids, and then, have a career that you're good at, you're happy with, that you get paid well from. Maybe that means, on paper that's middle management or something, but you still do very well at middle management. I am a proud middle manager. Like that's normal.
Right.
I think like,
I feel like the rebuttal to that, coming from like a red pill content maker would be like, yeah, I guess you could, but like that will cause the child's lives to suffer if they don't have the full attention of the mother.
I mean, like, I think something.
And is that true?
I mean, I don't think so. No. And it's also like how much attention is needed. At some point, like your kids have to go to school and interact with other people. Like, there are a lot of those like content creator types who are like, oh yeah, I'm homeschooling my kids. It's like, a lot of kids weren't homeschooled and they're doing fine. Like, I don't know. Like it's interesting because it's like, I think everyone's what's weird about this is like back in the day when we used to talk about these topics, it would be like around a bar with people that were kind of living similar lives to you. And then now it's like everyone on the internet who like, have these different views of like how to get, where you're at. Like somebody that's from like bumfuck nowhere, wherever, Arkansas, where they can afford, they have like, their opinions are on the table where it's like their life looks nothing like yours and my life looks nothing like theirs. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah, that's true. People live very, very different lifestyles. I would have to say, I mean, now that I think about it a little bit more, I kind of am in the camp of you can't have it all, but not from like the red pill perspective. And I feel kind of weird, like, trying to give any type of advice on this, just because when I think about this stuff, I am kind of like, why would anyone take this like heavy of life advice from a man who is right around your age or younger, who you should be listening to, who you should absolutely like hear testimonials from, are older women. Women who are
people who have been married before. Like a lot of the people with their microphones, they have not been married. They're your age.
Like older women who are like in their old age. If you ask them, what should I do or what do you regret? 9 times out of 10, they're going to tell you, do not get married too young. And like, it's like, yeah, you can be a mother. You can focus on your career. That's totally your prerogative, whichever one of those life paths you primarily choose. But the one thing is, do not get pressured one way or the other.
Yeah.
By a man, a husband, a family member. And so that's kind of where I fall with all of this stuff in do I, sacrifice career? Do I sacrifice my life and my fun and settle down for a family? Like, will that make me fulfilled? Like, where you're asking these questions and you're just not sure. And then all of a sudden, boom, you're pregnant. And now you kind of don't have a choice.
Yeah, you can't put that back. You can't put that.
You can't.
Back in that bottle.
Yeah, exactly.
That's real. Yeah.
And so I think I'm really about like, listen to older women and they will tell you like, I mean, most of the time they'll be like, girl, live by yourself. Focus on yourself, have fun, hang out with your friends, enjoy your career. Like a lot of them, their advice looking back is like, fuck, man. Yeah.
But my devil's advocate to that, though, is like most people and like women, men, whatever, on their deathbed, one thing that people do say is like, I wish I hadn't worked so hard. They all say that. I mean, I feel like that is a rose-colored glasses. That's an easy thing.
I feel like that's
like now
most,
that you know,
no shit
you can
thing.
look back and be like, "Oh, this didn't matter as much," but like you didn't know it didn't matter until like you wouldn't have known that at the time.
Now, I think we'll probably have people on their deathbed being like, "I wish I wasn't on my phone so much."
Oh, for sure.
I wish I didn't live in a virtual world quite so much. I wish I lived more in reality. Yeah, but it's like, but that's the world that you live in. Like, yes, I wish I didn't work so much, but also
that's an easy thing to say in hindsight. I agree.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, you're like, oh, that didn't really matter because like, it turns out the CEO didn't ask me about this report.
That
like,
does kind of feel like more of a man's answer too, though, right? I wish I didn't work so much. I wish I spent more time with my family.
Yeah, but I think work, because it's like, how do you define like work? Like even if you look at people that maybe
I wish I went to my kids' soccer games.
Grown up, grew up in a different time. It was like, did work mean like cleaning, fixing stuff up at the home? Oh my God, the so and so's are coming. I've got to clean the whole inch of the house, and really it doesn't matter. Like So I think that it was like an everybody thing, but yeah, like I think, like the listening to people who have actually like been married before and like what actually works, what doesn't, like not people who are like talking in hypotheticals because they have not yet been married themselves. The other funny thing that sometimes I've heard is like when these topics come up, like, because some people it's like I feel like a lot of those like talking points are like directed at people who like want kids at some point but don't have them yet, like want to be married at some point, and it's like kind of like a scare tactic. But then a lot of times those talking points happen and someone says, I don't want kids, I don't want marriage, and then like the interesting response that I've seen by some of them is like, but the birth rates are down. It's like, that is the worst reason to
bitch. Oh, like, look at me care.
Yeah,
look at me give a shit.
I think that is it's like your reason for having children or a family getting married should not be like to help the statistics.
Ew, dude. No. I don't want to do anything JD Vance tells me to do. Fuck that.
Yeah. I don't want to do anything to help a statistic. Like, it's my life. I have to deal with this. Like, I don't,
absolutely.
Like, maybe if something small, like, okay, cool, like go check a box, like fill out a survey, fine. I'll help your statistic there.
Right.
But that's my life. And that's another person's life. Like, I do like want a family and stuff like that. But like, if there's something where it's like, oh, but like, what's going to happen 100 years from now? I won't be alive. I don't like, I care about my children. I care about my grandchildren and everyone I will meet. I guess I technically care about everybody who will come after me, if they even exist at all, because my children, if they happen, are allowed to choose not to have children. Like they don't owe me anything. Mm-hmm. And like, I don't know. So I think that is the worst argument for like telling people to have kids is like, help the statistics. You should have kids because you personally feel called to have children.
I think
and
also like these kind of red pill dudes, like when they hear someone say, "Oh, I don't want to have kids," they get a little like, ugh, because the pickings are already so slim for them. They already have so few options that hearing a woman be like, "Oh, I'm removing myself as an option completely from everyone," they're like, "You're withholding."
Like, if you're annoying, it's like you're also removing yourself from the gene pool. It's like there are plenty of men who are having kids and families and they are happy, and like, you know, what are they doing that you're not? They're not saying stupid shit in a microphone and trying to tell people what to do and like claiming to be experts on stuff.
You're goddamn right about that. Yep.
Like, I also think, okay, so the whole talking point of like feminism lying to be, and like, I feel like I've seen that from personal friends, like post that where it's like they become mothers.
I'll go the fuck off on this, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
I like that one always like confuses me. And keep in mind, like my definition of feminism is not like I think that, you know, Christians can be feminists. I think conservative women can be feminists. I think pro-life women can be feminists. Mm-hmm. Really, the thing that I define feminism as is like the idea that women are not barred from doing any sort of pursuit on the basis of sex alone.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, 100 years ago, women fought for the right to vote. There was, you know, the ability, you know, later on, like to have, you know, careers where they were not restricted based on sex. Like if you go and
credit
open
cards,
newspaper ads and stuff, like help wanted ads from the 60s, you will see like wanted single female secretary or like wanted male salesman.
Yeah.
You know, you could fire people based on that. You could fire people for being pregnant. Like I think that is, to me, that's feminism. Like anything that's kind of gone past that is its own version of feminism that I think that is gatekeeping. And I think,
well, there's waves of feminism, right? So first wave would have been women's suffrage.
Sure.
And then you have second wave, which I think would have been kind of like the 60s, right?
So that is my bar for feminism.
Just civil rights.
So I think like there's some people who are turned off by the
third wave feminism, fourth wave feminism.
I mean, I believe it is a version of feminism. I don't think that is the bar for what it means to be a feminist.
Okay.
I think the bar is like, you know, I think a lot of, you know, women who are like, I agree with feminism because they're like, I don't have blue hair. It's like, you're still a feminist. Like, you're just not that.
Yeah, you're missing it. It
like,
sucks that term has taken on such a negative connotation.
And I think it's bad on every side because of the, you know, the gatekeeping of it, where it's like, you're going to turn people off of like these really valuable things because we're making you know, we're telling people like because they believe us, like, you know, they are pro-life or they're Christian, like they are not really feminist. It's like, let's stop doing that for a second. But that's a whole other thought that I have. But,
it does get into the weeds.
Yeah. But like, because whenever I see it's like, oh, like feminism lied to me, I'm like, I don't ever feel like feminism, like this idea, like ever promised me anything. That's why it's always like a confusing one to me. I feel like I see it a lot of times from like friends who are new mothers who, you know, they like their career, they were good at it, and then they're very pleasantly surprised by how much they like being a mother. And they're like, what the fuck? I didn't realize I was going to like it this much. And like, this is what I was called to do. And like, why did it take me so long to get here? And like, I think it usually comes from people like that. But like, when I hear it, I'm like,
interesting.
When I think of like what feminism never promised me anything. That's my first thought. And then, you know, it's kind of like all feminism did was say like, here are some doors that can open because that weren't open 100 years ago that are open for like, they're not closed on the basis of sex.
Yeah.
This wasn't the case 100 years ago. And, you know, these doors are here. That doesn't mean you are going to be blocked from going through them for other reasons that aren't related to gender. And it doesn't mean that like the doors that you do go through, that you're going to be good at it, that you're going to be happy, and that it's going to like be more fulfilling than anything else you can do.
Yeah.
Like it was just kind of like, here are some options. Like there's more options than there were 100 years ago.
Yeah.
And like no guarantees. That's the way I've always seen it.
Yeah, truly no guarantees. Yeah, I think feminism lied is like such an insane thing to say. Because I guess maybe that's just coming from like the general sentiment that you should pursue a career over all else, or you should, you know, wait until you're older to have children. And then women kind of do that, and then they're like, I shouldn't have. Or women who are like, I'm not a feminist because I want to be taken care of by a man. You know, I want to be like a homemaker or a housewife. I want that.
Yeah, and I do think some of it is like a, you know, kind of a, what's it, like a pushback to like
Yeah.
You know, there was a period of
It is.
time where it's like career women's kind of like, you know, poo-pooing stay-at-home moms and homemakers and stuff like that. And it's like,
oh yeah, the
like, a
80s
true
businesswoman. Yeah.
a true feminist, like not like a, you know, like girl boss, whatever, is like, hell yeah. I love that you have that choice. And like moms, stay-at-home moms, homemakers, like have just as much value to the world as someone who pursues a career. Like I think, I don't know, whenever I think of like successful woman versus girl boss, I always think of like Helly versus Helena from Succession. It's like Helly was smart and she was well liked, and
From
she
Succession or from
Severance.
Severance, yeah.
Like whenever people are like, oh, girl boss bad, like, but it's like, no, you like successful.
Yes,
it's like
that's
Helly
right.
versus Helena. It's like,
Oh, yeah,
Helena
yeah, yeah.
was like a bitch, and like, you know, she's clearly vindictive. Like she just can't comprehend why like this alternate version of herself, who's not this billionaire, whatever, is like so well liked. It's like, because Helly has she's a human. Like she cares about the people around her. Like she's still smart, she's still good at her job, but no, she's not this CEO, and she's puts humanity ahead of her.
Right. But I feel like to scrap feminism is kind of like, damn, dude, because of feminist movements, you know, it's actually not okay for a man in the office to slap your ass. Title IX exists because of feminism. And to be like, we don't need it. Like, bro, you have no idea.
Not being fired because you were pregnant. Like,
not being fired because you're pregnant.
and it's like, I think those movements have also been really good for like for the family unit, where it's like, oh, cool. Like, hey, now we have like better paternity leave. You know, we have options for like starting a family. Like, you know, these types of benefits are very helpful, where it's like, you know, freezing eggs or, you know, IVF, like a lot of employers like will provide that benefit because of those efforts and stuff like that, which I always think it's interesting that people are like, oh my gosh, like they're doing that so that you delay having kids and like dedicate your life to work. It's like, I just think it's the times. And like, I think any benefit that an employer can give you to start your family is like very valuable and like shouldn't be poo-pooed. Like no one's stopping you from having a family earlier. I don't know.
I think also, like the discourse, I guess, the egg-headed discourse is like, the feminist movement, you can hear Charlie Kirk talk about this shit ad nauseum. The feminist movement is what basically killed like the atomic family unit. It killed the family. It's made it so that, you know, no children have like two parents in the home or whatever. And in some ways, it changed family dynamics completely.
Well, I also think people don't realize what an anomaly. Everyone references back to the 50s. Like no one realizes what an anomaly the 50s were. Like the reason the 50s were so like,
I shouldn't say atomic family unit, but
but like that really was like a thing in like the before that, it was like, you know, before the 1900s, like families were kind of more interesting because you had kids so that you could like fill your farm, and people had 13 kids that they couldn't keep track of. And you know, they had kids with their slaves. Like, oh, fuck. Yeah. Like,
it was a mess.
But like the reason, like, and this is why I'm so like annoyed with boomers, because they fuck this shit up. I do feel lied to by boomers, by the way. I can go on a whole rant about that. But like the reason that like the 50s, all of those things were so successful is because America profited off like World War II. Like we had way less destruction. Like, so we were helping our allies. Like we got to profit off of like helping our allies like rebuild their countries.
Yeah.
And so like, you know, everyone's coming back from the war. There was like just you know, renewed excitement in starting a family because like no one had been on a date in like 5 years. And like it was just, so when people are like, oh, let's compare it to like but in the 50s, it's like
golden age.
It's called the golden age for a reason.
Yeah,
because like it was an anomaly in history. The boomers got so fucking lucky and they fucked it up. But it was an anomaly.
Yeah. Also, I think, I mean, who knows? Who knows? I'm sure we know plenty about like marriage dynamics at the time. Plenty of stories, whatever. And I can only imagine that marriage dynamics would have been just generally better when a man is making enough money to support his entire family and buy a home and whatever.
Sure. Which was easier to do and
much easier to do. And still, like watch Mad Men, you know, like the marriage dynamics, it still like heavily leans in the man's favor. Whereas now, I think the ability to leave and divorce a man that is making you miserable, that is so underestimated because
the ability to divorce anyone for any reason.
sure.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I mean, if we're talking feminism rules, if we're talking like, oh, in a perfect, 2025, that man marries the woman and she decides she's going to stay home and take care of the kids. Mm-hmm. We're not making as much money, period. And then I think you have financial dependency on a man who is unstable, and that causes like really major terrible issues. That rips a family apart. That ruins a kid's childhood, having to watch their parents go through that. So I think divorce, at will divorce or whatever.
No fault divorce. Yeah.
No fault divorce is such a necessary thing for children's well-being.
It's necessary for everyone.
For everyone.
And I think divorce, the fact that divorce, like I also think divorce being on the table is just, I think, helpful for a relationship because that's just what keeps you in check. Is like, you could lose this. Like, this person can walk away at any time.
Yeah.
Like the idea that is there, I think, keeps you from being like, oh, it's a guarantee. Like, I've heard many stories of people who are like, what the fuck, I'm getting divorced because like they just thought married, like, like this person has their own agency, like regardless of their gender.
Yeah, definitely. I'm about feminism. I don't like that shit. I like being able to live alone.
What I do feel lied to is by the boomers about like prosperity in life. So one thing I'll remember, and I guess I'll use this person's name. There was this woman who was like the parent of someone I went to high school with, and she decides to start leading this like college admissions counseling thing for people in our grade. Like, we're going to help you guys get into college. And she like would host it at the school. Her name was Cece Johnson. She was called.
Oh, I know Cece Johnson. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mom liked her at one point. Mom was like, that woman's she's great. I'm like, do we listen to the same fucking thing?
Yeah.
But like, God,
yes. Yeah, that's right.
But I remember the first thing that she said was, it was like, help you get into college, like whatever. And like, I was someone who wanted to just like go to whatever state school. I went to Cal Poly, which is a better state school than
Cal Poly is an excellent school.
Yeah, it was good school. But like, she was like, her whole thing was like, she's like, I'm going to help you find the right school for you. Like, some schools, it's not about being so good. It's about being the right fit. And she was like, she's like, I'll help you find the random liberal arts school in the middle of nowhere. And like, everyone's like looking there, like just like wide eyed at her. And she's like, remember, like college, like, yes, it'll put you in debt, but it's good debt. And then I know people that did that little seminar thing. They went to the random ass liberal arts school. And then like, lo and behold, that good debt has gotten in their way of buying a house.
Oh, and in the
like,
way of everything, in the way of their happiness, in the way.
Yeah, and it's like, I know someone who was in her little seminar group who like, she like brought in a guest speaker who was like supposed to be like a financial advisor that they end up taking into like small claims court. And, like, it was such a, like, it felt so scammy. But it's like, I kind of feel lied to, where it was the sense of like, if you go to school, like, you're gonna do better than your parents. It's like, if I look back, like our parents were 37 or 38 when they bought the house that they are in now. Obviously, like, inflation, blah blah blah, like, they were making less money than I am now, like, by far. But like, objectively speaking, that house is much nicer than mine, and they were 3 years older than I am now.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like, and that was like a one person, like, one salary. And so it's kind of like,
true. Yeah.
So it's like, what the frick? Like, they still did, like, my mom is often like, oh, like, we didn't go to dinner. We didn't go to fancy dinners for like, a year and a half or
which
whatever.
It's like, just don't drink Starbucks every morning and then you'll have an extra.
Like, that's what I feel like lied to, is that's what makes me feel lied to, is like the boomer stuff where it's like, you will have a better life than I will because I had a better life than my parents and blah, blah, blah. It's like, that is something where I guess like no one promised me anything, but like I did feel lied to.
Yeah.
Like, feminism is just kind of like, the door's open if you want to take it. Like, no guarantees.
Yeah.
Like, no guarantees. Like, nothing's going to stop you for other reasons. Like, if you suck, like, no one's going to let you through the door. Or, like, if you do, like, no guarantees you'll be good at it.
Yeah. But that's the thing. I think a lot of, like, these people who are against feminism see it as giving women some kind of an unfair advantage over men. Like, they truly believe that women are have it better and easier than men do.
I mean, like, there's a whole, like, oh, it's a DEI hire. And, like, I don't know. Like, does that exist in some places where it's like, really, are we going to tokenize this? Like, I've been in work situations where it's like, do we need a fancy position for this? Like, where did this person come from that we hired to be, like, the diversity chair and like they're making way more money than me. What the fuck are they doing all day? Like I have thought that because I'm a middle manager and they hired this person in a director level to just like fluff around and do nothing and be like, let's all take the Myers-Briggs.
Right.
And so I'm also just like, I'm also a big person where it's like, if I'm trying to like interview for something or like get something and someone's like, you're a woman. I'm like, am I fucking here because you like me, like how I do at my job?
Yeah.
Or am I here because you wanted to like check a box and like,
oh, I hate it when people get tattooed by me and then they're like, yeah, I just want to support women. I just want to get tattooed by women. I'm like, what? What the heck? Do you even know what my shit looks like?
Like one of my biggest pet peeves is like people being condescending to me. So like I am very much like, nope, we're not doing it for that. Like,
yeah,
you're either doing this because you like the work that I do or
right. Yeah, which there is that pushback, you know.
Yeah,
it's true, but the ability to just move freely about the world with liberation, with a sense of independence.
Yeah.
I am so like confident walking, and I do everything by myself. I love doing stuff by myself. Mm-hmm. And I kind of can't imagine a world where I have a leash on me.
Yeah.
Like my life is fun. I love my life. I have so much fun. I'm having the best time out here. And like, I can't imagine, you know?
Yeah.
The pressure, and back then, of course, the pressure of getting married when you're super young, way too young.
Yeah. It's just what you did. I don't know.
It's just what you did.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I like having the choice. I think everyone should have the choice. I think you can choose one way or the other. Like, I don't know. That's why I guess like to nuance or bring back around like the feminism line. I do think it's a talking point by people who like aren't old enough to really know what they're talking about. Like, I think it's like a parroting thing. Like, I think everyone thinks of like, you know, the one-off people who are like, I waited too long to have kids and now I can't. Like, you know, those sort of
things. That feels like kind of an outlier story to me. I mean, maybe it happens, sure. But how often is that happening? I feel like much more often it's, I had kids when I shouldn't have.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's one of those things you can't put the jack in the box.
Right.
I mean, like,
you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube.
Yeah, you can't. Like,
yeah.
But it's also like, there's certain things too where it's like, you know, women who like are pleasantly surprised by how happy they are as a mother. It's like,
hell
you
yeah.
Gonna know until which is also like a hell yeah, but that's not like a feminism lied to you. It's like,
no,
I didn't know that I liked fucking bone
sushi
marrow until I tried it.
Yeah.
Like, and I wasn't like, oh, fucking, you know, like, the barbecue restaurants lied to me.
They lied,
Like,
yeah.
I don't know. That's, which might be a weird way to say it. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't think anyone promised me anything. Like, now, I don't know if you had like a random aunt or like you followed some sort of like literature that, you know, was very niche and like tried to say that. But like, I don't think, generally speaking, what average feminism, the bar for feminism, which is just like, I want to be able to like not be fired for being pregnant. I don't think that's lying anymore.
Right. Well, and the type of woman who would say like, feminism lied because she has a baby and she loves that baby and she's, you know, doing amazing. Being like, don't listen to them. Feminism lied to you. That's low key rude and like it's like, why are you flexing on all these other women who like that lifestyle that you have with your baby is not even a fucking option. Like
that's a tough
be
thing
like,
too.
I'm having the best time, and you're living in a roof over your head, well fed, babies well fed, taken care of.
And I think that's where some like ignorance comes in, where it's like why don't we encourage women to be mothers more? It's like, well, because there's a lot of things that aren't guarantees, and this is like sometimes this is related to age, but I know women who like, you know, at a young age, like they wanted to start their family and they couldn't, and like, you know, it's easier to talk about like, you know, a career being successful because there is a little bit more of like the, you know, you check the boxes you promote.
Yeah.
Like there's multiple jobs in the world. Like your biology, generally speaking, isn't going to stop your career the way like a dream to have a family would. So I think people are always scared to be like, are you planning on having kids or you should have kids? Because like they don't know if they're going to like hurt somebody who does want those things. And like, they don't know if they're intruding on something personal.
Right.
Like I am so cautious when I like make a friend or something that doesn't have kids. And like, you know, they're like, oh yeah, we don't have kids. Like I'd never ask why. Cause like, it's just like, I don't know what I'm walking into. You know, like you just don't know. You don't know if it's something that's going to make them sad. You don't know if it's something they've spent a lot of money on and it didn't work out. Like,
Right.
I think that's why people are hesitant to do it. Like, just
yeah.
in general, like you don't know of what you're walking into.
The risks are absolutely
It's like a politeness
insane. Like the chips could fall in any direction, truly. In this day and age, like the security just kind of isn't there. And then you have the added problem of childcare.
Yeah.
Like having childcare, which, you know, unless you are a 100% full-time stay-at-home mom, you will need that.
Yeah.
And it's insanely expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough. Like it's an interesting song and dance for doing life. And it's like the saying of like, you can't have it all. It depends what all means to you. But like, it's like, there is some, you know.
You can never have it all. No one can have it all.
in a day.
Yeah.
Like you got to pull the time from somewhere and we still need to sleep.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I guess that's my whole take on that.
Yeah. It's complicated, but
Talkative episode. There's so many other things I would want to unpack, but
more listening than speaking.
well, anyway, to everybody else, this has been a good one.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.